Today I'm in the central Algarve in southern Portugal, a spectacular rugged stretch of coastline that runs for 25 miles between Faro and Albufeira. Although tourists flock to this area, in the last 30 years it's become the most popular part of Portugal for British buyers wanting to extend their stay and make a permanent home here in the most stunning corner of this country.
I'm Jasmine Harmon, and over the last decade, I've helped hundreds of people find their dream homes. We've been checking up on the property market in popular winter sun destinations around the world, hunting high and low for the most incredible properties at fantastic prices. I've been exploring in Spain, Portugal and the Canary Islands. In all three places, property prices have finally gone up for the first time in 8 years. But, as you'll see, every destination is different. One thing they all have in common is, if you know where to look and how to look, you can still find incredible bargains. Stick with us and find out how. Today's house hunter is semi-retired travel rep Nicola Harrison. 22 years ago, she spent a season looking after holidaymakers in the Vila Moura area and has been dreaming of a move to the Algarve ever since. Currently living on the Dorset coast, 60-year-old Nicola's career as a travel rep and a nurse has taken her from Holland to Abu Dhabi. But having worked in the Algarve and returned many times on holiday, it has a special place in her heart. Now she wants to treat herself to a Portuguese home where she can escape the British winters and eventually retire to permanently. The plan is her family will be regular visitors out to Portugal, together with friends.
It would be nice just to share time with them and be somewhere nice. Friends can come for, a long weekend, Thursday to Monday, Friday, whatever, so it's, hopefully they'll all be popping over.
And as a keen golfer, Nicola's looking forward to making the most of the Algarve's many first-class courses.
I'm really taking to golf. Got a long way to go, but I enjoy it. My brother's a good golfer. He takes the mickey out of me. He's very patient with me. He's very good. And if he hadn't sort of suffered me as he has, I probably would have given up. But I'm now quite good and I can almost match him.
After selling a second property in the UK, Nicola has a cash budget of £110,000 to play with. Having done some research on the property market, she feels ready to go.
I'm getting to the age of retiring. When you're getting to sort of 60s and things, it seems the time maybe to start looking.
It's a big decision for Nicola, so we'll be searching out the best properties her budget can buy her in the central area of the Algarve, Portugal's #1 tourist destination on the southern coast. With mild sunny winters, stunning sandy coves, traditional whitewashed villages and more than 40 manicured golf courses to choose from, it's been attracting UK holidaymakers since the 60s, and around 50,000 Brits have chosen to make it their permanent home.
Although house prices in the central Algarve have dropped by almost a quarter since their peak in late 2007, this is still the most expensive place to buy property in the whole of Portugal. The good news, however, is that even here, prices are on average 32% cheaper than in the UK.
I'm meeting local estate agent Paul Greenhaw to get his take on the current market.
How did the global recession affect the property market here?
In 2008, the quantity of sales going through virtually dried up. Prices fell about 30–40%.
Right.
But in the last couple of years, we've started to see an increase in transactions. Confidence is definitely returning, and as a result, prices are starting to strengthen. We have a lot of buyers coming from all over Europe, not just from the UK. French, a lot of Scandinavians, Germans, Swiss, but in particular now we're seeing more from further afield, from China, from Russia, South Africa, even Canada.
Would you say that there are still bargains out there?
There's definitely still bargains if you're lucky enough to find them. But the backlog that we had since 2008 is being cleared up at quite a dramatic rate. It's still a buyer's market. Cash is still king, but the quantity of properties out there for sale is becoming less and less.
With the market appearing to be turning a corner here, Nicola has timed her house hunt well. But before we get started, I need to find out what kind of Portuguese pad she's dreaming of.
Well, Nicola, how does it feel to be back on the Algarve?
Amazing, nice. It's such a beautiful place and it brings back loads of memories.
For me, it feels like coming home. as well, because I lived here myself for nearly 4 years. So what is the big plan?
The beginning would be to live in the winter months, because that's to escape the winters in England, and then long term be a nice place to sort of retire.
So will friends and family come out to visit you here, do you think?
I'm hoping so. I'll be very disappointed if they don't. I'd very much like my brother to come over because of the golf, and also my sister, because she also does play golf, but not as much, so it'd be great for her to come over and we can practice and play together.
And so in terms of budget, how much are you looking to spend here?
110,000.
Okay.
I think.
And what are you hoping to see for that money? Because obviously that's not a huge budget for the Algarve.
Ideally, it would be nice to have 2 bedrooms, because then obviously when family and friends come to stay, if it had a little patio or anywhere for outside sitting would be nice, or a balcony, not overlooked and not on a massive sort of development, really. It'd be nice to have a bit of privacy.
How are you feeling about the prospect of coming out on your own?
Nervous, because I don't really know many people, but hopefully, you know, make new friends, take the opportunities with golf. There's always an expat community, you know, meet like-minded people.
Well, I'm hoping that I've found some properties here that I'll be able to show you and that will really wow you. Shall we get started?
Absolutely.
Let's go.
We're beginning our search less than half an hour from Faro Airport in Villamoura. Once a small fishing town, it's now one of the Algarve's most popular and luxurious holiday resorts. With 2 award-winning beaches and 5 top golf courses, I think it would make the perfect base for Nicola.
So, Nicola, we're kicking off our house hunt in the lovely town of Villamoura. Has it changed much since you were last here?
Surprisingly, this part hasn't. It looks very similar, how I do remember it. There's always been a buzz, and all the bars and cafes, there's probably more now than maybe then.
I don't know if you've noticed on your recent trips, these bikes around the marina and around Villamoura town. As a resident, you get an access card. The first one is free, and then thereafter you can pay £25 a year for the access card. Your first 45 minutes cycling is free, and you pay according to how much you use it. After that, they've got 200 bikes all around the town on 37 different stations, so it's a brilliant way to get around. Do you think you'd use those?
Definitely. Keep me fit.
Our first property is about 2 miles from here. Sound good to you?
Absolutely.
Should we go and have a look?
Yeah, definitely.
Villamoura is a glamorous international community. Around 50% of homeowners are Portuguese, while the other half are expats, with Brits making up the largest group. Although prices aren't what they were, a townhouse will still set you back upwards of £200,000, and stylish villas run into the millions. But on the northern edge of town, in one of the older areas, we found an apartment on a well-maintained development, which is also within Nicola's budget.
So here we are, just a few minutes outside of the centre of Villamoura. And this is the entrance to the development where we're looking at a property. Now, what do you think of the exterior?
Yes, interesting.
I'm sensing this isn't what you were expecting to see.
I don't know. I suppose it is a bigger apartment block than maybe I would have thought about, but you never know what's inside.
Exactly. Actually, I'm hoping that what this property has to offer will really appeal to you. Not least of all, the price, because it's slightly under budget, £104,000. So how does that sound?
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you ready to go and have a look inside?
Definitely.
Although this development of 156 flats may be larger than Nicola was hoping for, I think this 3rd floor apartment could really suit her. Just 5 minutes drive from the heart of Villamoura, the living room is light and spacious with plenty of room for Nicola's visiting family. It leads onto a very private balcony with pretty views over a golf course. There's a compact, well-equipped kitchen, 2 good-sized bathrooms and the 2 bedrooms on Nicola's wish list. Bought by 2 English brothers off-plan almost 10 years ago for £220,000, it's on the market for just £104,000, and the agent tells me they'd accept an even lower offer.
So coming through, what are your thoughts here?
A bit more enclosed than I think I might like to be. Buildings all the way round and being overlooked. But the grounds are nicely maintained and the pool is nice.
got about 156 units. Only 12 of them are permanent residents. So the majority of them in the winter time
Would be empty.
Would be empty. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, really.
I'm not sure either. Hasn't quite got the wow factor. It's nice, very pleasant, but I don't think it's quite what I had in mind.
Not the best of starts, but maybe Nicola will warm up to the place when she sees the apartment.
Here we are. How about this? Does this feel a little bit more secluded and private and not overlooked?
Lovely views, I have to say. Very nice. Golf clubs, they're obviously golfers.
Well, you've got the golf course, Millennium Golf Course, literally right next door.
Nice size room.
Is this more what you were thinking of? Can you see yourself here?
Yes, this is, I mean, very nice here. I'm pleasantly surprised. The views are lovely. Having what looks like a large balcony area looks lovely, but sadly...
There's always a but.
Yes, I'm not over keen on the outside.
There are a few other apartments in this development for sale. The average price is £134,000. Now, this particular apartment has been on for a year. It's been heavily discounted. The furniture is all included, so that's another cost you would avoid. And for this location in Villamora, next door to the golf course, it's a steal.
I would be very much more, wow, what I'm seeing now here is lovely, but it is once you open the door.
Should we go and have a little look outside and take in the views a little bit more? It is a really nice big balcony. You can see the golf course is right there.
Yes.
Literally on the doorstep.
Though this seems very nice, I just don't feel that comfortable with the apartment block.
You've ruled this one out already by the sound of it.
I think I probably have.
And the bedrooms and the bathrooms, immaculate though they were, didn't change Nicola's mind. This modern apartment with golf course views has the 2 bedrooms she wanted. At £104,000, the price is within budget, and it's just minutes away from all the facilities of Villamora. Although the scale of the complex just isn't for Nicola, it's been a good learning experience. Coming up, this property's price tag leaves Nicola lost for words.
I'm speechless.
Today, I'm in Portugal's beautiful central Algarve region, helping semi-retired travel rep Nicola Harrison search for her dream home. Armed with a budget of £110,000, she's looking for a 2-bedroom property where she can hide out during the British winters and eventually retire to full-time.
So far, I've shown Nicola a modern apartment with golf course views on the edge of Villamora. Although she liked the interior, the scale of the development really put her off. So with that in mind, I'm hoping the setting of the next property will be more up her street. I'm taking her 4 miles east of Villamora to the small but bustling town of Almansil. It's home to less than 11,000 people, but with a handful of banks, 3 supermarkets and a good choice of places to eat, it caters for residents from the major local resorts, and Nicola would only have to travel 2 miles to the nearest golf course.
A town very close to my heart. This is Almansil, where I used to live. Do you know it at all?
I don't know it very well. Driven through it, past it, but never really into it.
So hopefully what you'll find here is that there's not so much of a holiday vibe. It's a real Portuguese working town that caters for expats as well.
That sounds promising. I mean, it's nice to be sometimes, I think, you're going to live somewhere where it really is, you know, with the locals as opposed to a very touristy area.
In comparison to Villamora, where we've just come from, there you might pay something like £1.20 for a coffee. Here, you'd pay about 50p. Shall we see what you think of the property itself?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Fingers crossed you'll like it.
Yes.
3 miles off the glitz and glamour of the coast, Almansil is less popular with international buyers, so prices are more affordable and apartments are around 20% cheaper than in Villamora. We've managed to find a real gem in the heart of town that's almost £15,000 under Nicola's budget.
So we are just off the main road in a little quiet cul-de-sac, and what we're actually looking at is this property just here. So you can see downstairs you've got a garage, Upstairs is where all the living space is, and then on the top floor you've got a roof terrace.
Gosh.
Here on the ground floor is a separate apartment, so that's not part of it. But what do you think of that? Pleasantly surprised?
Yes, I am.
Do you think being in a community like this would help with learning the language?
I think so, definitely, because you could practice on your neighbours.
Yeah. Anything you're not sure about here?
No, it just looks too nice and a little maybe over my budget.
Do you want me to put you out of your misery and tell you the price now?
Yes, why not?
This one is on the market for £95,600.
I'm speechless.
What were you expecting it to be?
Better. 126,000. Gosh, want to see inside.
Brilliant, let's go.
Built 15 years ago, this 3-storey maisonette with a garage has a large south-facing terrace and a superb roof terrace with views across the town and down to the sea. Inside there's a good-sized lounge, a smart, spacious kitchen and 2 generous-sized bedrooms. The Portuguese owners are living abroad, and it used to be let out to a long-term tenant, but now the property is vacant. On the market for 5 months, it's comfortably inside Nicola's budget at just over £95,500.
So, your own front door, which is quite nice and hopefully make you feel secure, and you've got internal access to the garage as well. Although this staircase is completely private, you've actually got another front door here. We'll have a look around the rest, but let's start off in here. This will be your living room. Obviously, you can see there's no one living here at the moment. It's empty.
A blank canvas. Yes, it's thinking of the furniture cost implications, because a lot of the places that you do see do come furnished.
It means that you can put your own furniture in that's your taste rather than inheriting someone else's. Would this space be big enough for you and
nice
having
size.
Visitors? You've got the little balcony there at the front. That's not your only one. There are several to choose from.
Well, I like to have outdoor space because I do like my plants and, grow things would be lovely.
So next door is the kitchen.
Gosh. Yellow's my colour.
Is it?
Yellow, yes.
When you have family and friends visiting, do you think they would be at home in this kitchen?
I would like to think
Who'd do the cooking?
Size. I'd like to say my brother and sister if they came. So if they hear that, they probably won't come now. But no, I would cook as well.
Is your cooking that bad?
It just needs a bit more practice, I think. No, well, there's a lot to think about. But I think, though, as you say, a blank canvas can be good, it's a bit daunting at the moment for me.
You have over £14,000 left over in the budget, but the agent reckons you could even knock an extra 10% off the asking price if you wanted to make an offer on it, which means you've got over £20,000 left over.
It's just having the time, obviously, to buy everything, get everything fitted and fitted before moving in, I think, is the slightly apprehensive side. But who knows?
And look at your sea view.
Yes, lovely to see the sea in the distance.
Do you have any reservations?
You can't just blinker off looking at the cables, the washing. With these views, I wouldn't feel comfortable.
What a shame! We seem to get off to such a good start here. I still thought it was worth Nicola having a look at the rest of the rooms on her own.
Nice size, fitted wardrobes, that's always a plus sign. Second bedroom. It's a shame it's so overlooked.
This 3-storey maisonette in a quiet residential neighbourhood has the 2 bedrooms and outside space Nicola asked for. And at just over £95,500, it's within budget too, but it doesn't seem to have charmed her.
So, what did you think of the bedrooms?
Nice size, but I didn't like the aspect, the overlooking.
Oh, the neighbours were a bit too close for comfort, do you think?
So having thought I wanted to be in a typical Portuguese community, maybe it's not quite ticking the boxes, and neither is being on a holiday, in a holiday resort either. So I want something maybe in between.
Choosing a home here on the Algarve is obviously a major step for Nicola, and now it's within her grasp. I just hope she's not getting cold feet. Before I show her any more properties, I want to find out what owning her own place here in Portugal would really mean to her.
Has coming out here made the reality of moving out here on your own seem more scary than it did before?
Probably, yes, a little daunting when you suddenly realise that, you know, it is just going to be me, and not having built up, you know, friends and acquaintances yet, but hopefully by doing golf, joining expats and learning the language, I will, you know, meet and make friends, and that will sort of lead to, you know, a life that I'll enjoy.
So what do you see your future as?
Having somewhere in the Algarve that I can come to, particularly in the winter months. I can play more golf and have a social life with golf, with languages, learning Portuguese and mixing with, you know, expats in the community.
Do you see yourself meeting someone over here, do you think?
Who
As
knows?
me being nosy.
Who knows? One, you know, one can never say never, as you say. If the opportunity pops up and somebody comes, who knows?
Do you get butterflies in your tummy just thinking about, you know, this could be it?
Sometimes, and I think, yes, this time next year, you know, where will I be? It's a whole new future, really. You know, you hit a milestone in your life and suddenly opens doors and you can do things. And as we said, take opportunities and make the most of them.
Up next, Nicola's bowled over by a rooftop view.
Amazing.
Did you just say amazing?
Yeah.
Today's house hunter is Nicola Harrison from Dorset. Over 20 years ago, she worked as a travel rep on the Algarve and has had a long-standing love affair with the area. Now, with a budget of £110,000, she's striking out on her own and hoping to find a two-bedroom property here where she can begin a new chapter of her life.
Nicola was impressed with the interior and the views from the first apartment I showed her, overlooking a golf course on the edge of Villamoura for £104,000. But the size of the complex really put her off. She felt a maisonette well under budget at just over £95,500 in Almonsil was too overlooked and the location wasn't international enough. So I'm banking on my next option hitting the mark. I'm taking Nicola back to Villamoura, where we started our search. It's a place I know she feels comfortable, and what better location for her dream holiday pad than right by its fantastic 1,000 berth marina. With its luxury yachts, waterfront casino and designer boutiques and jewellery stores, it's a real magnet for the rich and famous and a great place to sit and watch the world go by. Plans are also underway to expand the waterfront area with a network of canals.
So here we are back on familiar territory in Villamoura Marina. How does it feel to be back?
No, it's nice. I mean, it doesn't really change the marina itself,
No.
this aspect. It just seems the same from 22 years ago.
Great place for people watching and having dinner. I mean, there are 140 different restaurants to choose from in Villamoura, which is absolutely phenomenal, isn't it? Something really for everybody. Do you feel more comfortable being back here?
Yes, because it's home ground, or it's a resort area that I know, so it's, I think anywhere that you know is comfortable than going somewhere that's totally new.
Well, I've tried to do my best to get you as close as possible to this area, for as close as possible to your budget as we can get, so let's go and have a look.
A two-bedroom penthouse with fabulous marina view could set you back well over £400,000, and owners can charge premium rents to holidaymakers in the peak season. But down a side street just a few steps from the water's edge, we found an apartment above a shop for Nicola that's a whole lot more affordable.
It's a two-storey, two-bedroom apartment just off the marina, so you know, you've got a nice little shopping street here. And you're a little bit set back from all the bars and the cafes and things like that. So what do you think of the location?
Yes, stunned. It's a bit...
Stunned.
I'm not sure, yes, that I want to be so close to the marina. I'm apprehensive about the noise levels, I suppose, during the summer and who knows, even in the winter months.
Built 22 years ago, this two-storey apartment above a clothes shop with its own street-level front door couldn't be more central. The traditionally decorated interior includes a good-sized lounge diner, which leads onto a small terrace, a well-equipped separate kitchen and a spacious guest bedroom. Upstairs is a bright main bedroom with a private terrace and a compact bathroom. The Lisbon-based owner is selling because he no longer uses the property. It's on the market well over Nicola's budget for £140,000, but the agent says an offer of £128,000 would be accepted. And as a cash buyer, Nicola is in a strong position to drive an even better deal.
Right, here we are. What are your thoughts on this?
Little dark maybe, but it's not a bad size. I mean, it's got a dining area, which is nice. You're not too cramped, and it's got a sitting area. A nice high ceiling.
What would your family think?
I'm not sure about my brother and sister, whether it be to their liking. I'm sure my niece, 22, ideal, couldn't be better, you know, right on the hot spot with the bars and clubs and whatever. I think she'd love it. So, but for myself and, as I say, my brother and my sister and friends, it might be a bit too close.
Let's have a look around the rest of this so you can digest it all. Up on this floor, got your bathroom just there, and this bedroom, as well as the second bedroom, which is downstairs off the living area.
It's a nice size considering often these sort of townhouses are quite small and pokey, and it's got character with the sloping ceilings. I like that.
Nice high ceiling.
Yes.
A bit brighter up here as well.
It is, yes. It has got some nice points.
Nicola seems quite impressed with the apartment, but she doesn't like the location. I still thought it was worth her checking out the rest of the rooms here.
Nice size. Washing machine. I like the colour scheme. Nice sized bedroom, it's got character. I like the Portuguese feel to it with the colours, the pictures.
This marina apartment above a shop with 2 bedrooms is a good deal, even at the advertised price of £140,000. And Nicola could get it much closer to her budget, but she clearly has reservations.
So how was the rest of it?
Nice kitchen, nice bedroom. And yeah, overall, I mean, it's a nice apartment, but as much as I love the marina and I love Villa Mora, but maybe a little too close than I envisaged living.
Well, that's a disappointment, but I'm not giving up yet. We're heading almost 2 miles east along the coast of the town of Quarteira. With a population of over 20,000, it's busy all year round. Its mile-long blue flag beach and promenade lined with cafes and bars have made it popular with holidaymakers in the summer, while a choice of 5 golf courses tempts visitors in the winter months too. Best of all, Nicola used to live here in her holiday rep days, so I'm really hoping she'll feel comfortable.
So here we are, back in your old town where you used to live, in Quarteira. How has it changed since you were last here, or since then, 22 years ago?
A lot. This esplanade wasn't there. It just freshens it all up. It makes the whole resort look better. It's just a nice location. It's close to Villa Mora that you could go to in the evenings for the bars and the nightlife.
So a good place to explore other areas,
yes,
but also fantastic beaches. I'm really hopeful for the location of this next property because it's about a 10 or 15 minute walk from here. So I know you don't want to be too close to all the restaurants and the noise, and you don't want to feel like you're in a holiday resort. So should we go and take a walk?
Yes.
Property prices here in Quarteira have dropped up to 30% in some cases since the crash, and the majority of buyers are local, British and French retired couples.
So here we are at our 4th property. What do you think of this as a location?
Seems nice. It's residential. There's not too many high-rise buildings, so...
There are 33 apartments here, so a little bit more of a manageable size?
Certainly, yes.
Around a third of the properties here are occupied all year round. And then there are others which are second homes, so you've got people coming out to spend the winter months, much as you'll be doing yourself. Shall we go up and have a look?
Yes.
Yes.
I've taken on board Nicola's concerns at all the places we've seen, but I can't help wondering if it's her anxiety about taking the plunge and buying here that's really the problem. I'm hoping that this 3rd floor apartment might get a better response. In a residential neighbourhood around a mile from the beach, there's a good-sized front terrace for outdoor dining and a large balcony at the back with views of the communal gardens and pool, as well as the sea beyond. Inside, there's a roomy lounge diner, a separate well-equipped kitchen, 2 double bedrooms and a contemporary shower room. It's owned by a Portuguese man and his English partner who look after rescue dogs. They want a house with land so they can take in even more animals. On the market for 6 weeks, the £104,000 asking price is not only within Nicola's budget, it also includes all the furniture.
So here we are
up on the penthouse level. What do you think up here?
Amazing.
Amazing. Did you just say amazing?
Yes, yes. Well, it's...
That's music to my ears.
Gosh, fabulous views, I have to say. Very surprising. Well,
really?
Yes.
I am pleased and relieved that you like this, because actually the property that we're looking at is this one just here.
Gosh.
It's one of 6 on this floor. Downstairs on the floor below, you've got an English couple who live here all year round, as well as an Irish couple who live here all year round.
It is sounding very good. I'm a bit speechless, to be honest. I don't know what to say. I think the views are fantastic. It's just amazing to have, as you say, a little penthouse on the top of a rooftop.
It's on for £104,000 within budget. Mm-hmm. Furniture is included, and you go in and have a look around, take it all in, and then I'll come and find you.
Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you. It's nice to have that entrance hall. Nice sized kitchen, larger than I was expecting. Lots of room to cook. I think my sister would like it if she came and helped cook me a meal. It's a bit smaller than I would have hoped, and it's very much more a lounge than a dining area. It would either have to be one or t'other. Ceiling's a little low. I just feel in the winter it could seem very dark. Bathroom, sadly only a shower, and I do like a bath in the winter months. And this is obviously the main room. Nice built-in wardrobes, but a little dark, maybe not the colour I would have chosen. And it just seems to make the room small, especially with the height of the ceiling.
Nicola doesn't seem sold so far, but the balcony view just might change her mind.
Lovely sea views, I have to say. Fantastic. And pleasantly surprised at the size of the balcony. Nice sized pool and a nice lawn space round.
The outside space and views from this top floor apartment with 2 bedrooms have certainly impressed Nicola, but she doesn't seem exactly excited by the interior. At £104,000, including furniture, it's within budget and just a short stroll from the beach. I think it's pretty good value. So both terraces you're liking?
Yes, nice sizes. The only thing that doesn't appeal to me is, sadly, the kitchen is a nice size. I could almost do with half that size. If there was a dining area. I'm a bit old-fashioned, I think, and I do quite like to have a dining area. And there is no bath, and I do quite like a bath.
How would you describe this place in a word?
Compact.
I've got one last chance now left to impress you with a property here on the Algarve. What do you need to see?
Something like the one in Villamora on the complex, but in a village.
Next up, it's last but not least for Nicola. Is there anything you can see as a negative here?
No, I don't think I can, really.
Now that she's approaching retirement, Nicola Harrison is looking towards her next adventure. With a cash budget of £110,000 for a property here in the central Algarve, she wants to fly south and escape the British winters for now, and eventually make it a permanent move.
So far, I've shown Nicola 4 very different possibilities, none of which have taken her fancy. She liked a modern apartment with golf course views on the outskirts of Villamora for £104,000, but not the large development it was on. She ruled out a maisonette in Almonsil for just over £95,500 because she thought it was too overlooked, and felt an apartment above a shop just off Villamora Marina for offers around £128,000 would be too noisy. The views from the balcony of this top-floor apartment in Quarteira for £104,000 really wowed her, but it wasn't big enough. I wonder if Nicola is actually getting a bit nervous now her dream is becoming a reality, and whether it's the properties she doesn't like or the idea of moving to Portugal on her own. I have one last chance to find Nicola her dream home, and I'm going to give it my best shot. We're travelling east around 3 miles off the coast to the pretty village of Bulaken. With its period whitewashed buildings and sleepy back streets, it has a traditional Portuguese feel. But it's just a 20-minute drive from Faro Airport and 15 minutes to the nearest beach or golf course. There's a great choice of places to eat, banks and shops, as well as a regular street market.
So So have you ever been to Bulichem before?
No, first time.
First impressions?
Very Portuguese little village.
There are plenty of expats in Bulichem. I think more the type of expats who don't want to be close to all the holiday makers, much like yourself, will come a little bit further away into a more authentic, traditional Portuguese community.
That sounds good, because it's just, you know, reassuring being on my own. If I had somebody with me, it would be different, because you've always got somebody to go out with and talk to and, you know, just discuss things.
Well, the property that we're looking at is just a short walk from here, so shall we go and see it?
Definitely.
British, Irish and French retirees looking for a bit of peace and quiet have bought in and around the village. Prices are far more affordable than down on the coast, with typical 3-bedroom townhouses on the market from less than £150,000. I think making new friends is key to Nicola falling for my final property, so I've already asked who the neighbours are. I'm hoping knowing all about them will make it less daunting for her.
This is the little block that we're looking at an apartment in. It's actually the one upstairs here.
Looks very nice. I like yellow, my favourite colour.
Yay!
Nice, and with a pool, it's nice.
Yeah, nice little pool.
Yes.
This is just a very little complex of only 13 apartments, and the vast majority of people live here all year round. So that solves that problem.
Yes.
Also, here you've got a real nice mix of different people. You've got lots of English people. In fact, the lady on the ground floor here is an English lady who lives here on her own, and she's the hairdresser in the town. Almost all of the apartments are occupied all year round.
Well, that's excellent.
Which is quite unusual.
Yes. And it's not too far from the little centre, which has got everything.
I hope this one is going to nail it.
This second-floor apartment was built in the 90s. The bright, airy lounge diner opens out onto a long balcony with views over the shared pool and countryside beyond. There's plenty of space in the kitchen for Nicola and her visiting family to cook. Along the hallway is a good-sized bathroom and 2 double bedrooms, one with an ensuite, both leading onto the balcony. Owned by an English couple looking to move nearer to Villamoura, the asking price of just over £119,000 is a little over Nicola's budget. But if she liked it, I'd do my best to get a better price for her.
Gosh, nice size. Sitting area and dining area and outside.
And do you like these windows?
Love them. It's certainly almost there. Yes, I mean, the only downside I would say is that there's a sofa and it's a bit limited if I did have 4 people, you know, to squeeze in. But, I mean, the table and chairs could be moved over and you could get more seating in.
The furniture is included here, but that's not to say that you have to keep that sofa forever.
No, you can add to it. And with the log burner as well, that's lovely, because it does get cold in the winter.
Imagine Christmas here with the log burner going.
Space for the Christmas tree. I'm hoping for Christmases and things, the family will come.
Wow, at last it sounds like Nicola could actually imagine herself living here. I just hope she likes the rest of the place.
So this, you can see, runs the whole length of the property. So you've got lots of space and you've got access down at that end from the bedrooms as well.
Nice. I mean, it's wide enough just to get a table in. I'd sit, read, watch the world go by. I think that's, you know, very Mediterranean life, isn't it? You know, to sit and watch, contemplate. I like swimming, so I think that's a bonus, definitely, to have a pool.
This all seems to be going remarkably well, which is making me slightly scared, actually. So, is there anything you can see as a negative here?
No, I don't think I can, really. Wait to see the rest of the property, but from what I've seen so far, I do like.
Brilliant. We'll have a quick look in the kitchen.
That's what it's, I mean, adequate size. A little bit dark, but then you can't have everything. Hopefully there's a cooker there somewhere.
What, you mean an oven?
An oven even.
I think you might need to buy one.
Right, OK.
Have a look at the bedrooms yourself, and then I'll meet you on the communal roof terrace. See you soon. I think I could have finally hit the nail on the head.
Nice to have a bath. I do like a bath in the winter months. It's a nice size. It's a nice size room and it's nice to have it the balcony.
This village apartment in a small, friendly development has the 2 bedrooms, the outside space and the views Nicola asked for. At a shade over £119,000, it is more than she wanted to spend, but she has cash in the bank and can always make an offer.
Oh my gosh.
What do you think of this extra space?
It's large.
It is, isn't it? This is
Yes.
obviously a communal roof terrace. If you want a real sun trap, you can have that here.
Gosh, absolutely. There's a lot of good things about it. It's just, yeah, whether I'm 100% happy to be in a real community that I'm now a little unsure about, if I'm honest.
In what respect?
I just feel a little maybe out of my comfort zone. And yet it's half what I do want to be in the real Portugal. Obviously, I don't know the price yet.
No. It's on the market for £119,000.
I half expected it because it is, and it does tick a lot of the boxes. So I would have to really look at things as to whether I would be able to afford it.
In general, if you were really keen on the property and you wanted to make an offer, you would start by knocking about 10% off, which would bring it to within budget.
It certainly is very high on the list of what I was looking for.
I think we'll go back to the hotel, you can have a think about it, and then we'll chat tomorrow again and see where you're at with the whole process.
OK.
Sound good?
Yep.
I've shown Nicola 5 potential homes here in the central Algarve for her budget of £110,000. The modern apartment with golf course views for £104,000, the maisonette at just over £95,500, the apartment above a shop for offers around £128,000, and the top floor apartments for £104,000 have all been ruled out for various reasons. But the village apartment in Bulakem for just over £119,000 seems like a real possibility, partly because Nicola knows who her neighbours will be. I can tell Nicola is anxious, but I can't wait to hear if she's ready to take the next step.
So our final property, which I think seemed to be the one that you were most positive about, was in Bulakem.
It's had a nice feel to it, but on reflection, lovely as Bulakem is, am I ready to be that far out? Maybe I'm just a little bit unsure, and it's hitting reality being on my own and having to really, you know, be brave and go for it. There's something I'm going to have to really consider, because it was a nice apartment.
So if that apartment was somewhere else, what would you think?
If it was closer to Vilamora Cortera, I think yes.
If you brought that property to Vilamora, you know, I think it would be way out of budget.
Maybe I just need a little bit more time, a couple of days. It's just thinking about it all, going through the finances, and who knows, that might well be the one.
Well, will you keep me posted on what you decide? And if you do decide to go for that apartment in Bulakem, I'm happy to negotiate on your behalf. Hopefully, soon enough, you'll be out here enjoying winters that are not quite as cold as back home in the UK.
Yes, I hope so, and I certainly will keep you posted.
Buying a home in Portugal is a huge step for Nicola, and it has to be 100% right. On returning to the UK, she did decide she'd be more comfortable closer to Vilamora and plans to continue her search there.